Welcome back. Today I'm checking out the Mini Silver Jubilee or the Silver Jubilee Mini, whichever way you want to say that, by Marshall, also known as the 2525 head. This was originally the first amp that I ever bought. Oh yes, it warms the cockles of my soul to have the first amp that I ever bought. Well, it wasn't actually this one, it was a 100 watt version. This is the newer version, which is 20 watts, and you can flip it down to 5 watts. Now, in this is part 1 of the review. So today, I'm just going to play this like I would any old Marshall amp in an ideal setting where volume isn't an issue. So I basically have everything on full, and so I'll try it clean. It's not really clean, but it's clean. And then I'll try the overdrive channel, and then I'll try the clean channel with an overdrive. So I'll drive the amp with a Fender Yngwie Malmsteen overdrive. I have both outputs on full, and I have the input gain on full, EQ set to taste. In this case, presence is roughly at 4, bass, I have to check. Yeah, bass is between 5 and 6, middle and treble at roughly 8. So that's basically it. I'll play first the clean, then the overdrive channel, and I'll see how they clean up, and then I'll play the clean channel with the overdrive pedal. The overdrive channel on the Marshall will be very noisy, and because I'll be playing it so loud, I won't talk at all during the playing, and I'll just talk afterwards. Hey, great fun! For once he'll be quiet, but he'll ramble on and on, so we'll never get to hear the playing. Okay, so I'll shut up now. Or so you thought, because I have to say what else I have here. I have a custom mahogany Strat with Seymour Duncan YJM Fury pickups going into a Marshall cab, via the Marshall, of course. I have to find a pick. Yeah, so I'm going from this into the Marshall. I have a noise gate for the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen, because that gets noisy. It's all mic'd up with an AKG C414, and I have a bit of delay in the loop. So, without further ado, here's the clean, and then I'll go to the overdrive channel, and then I'll go back to the clean, but with the overdrive pedal, and then I'll talk a bit more. Well, that was the Marshall Silver Jubilee Mini Head, the 2525. Yeah, I'm used to the Plexis. I used to have one of these ages ago, and it's a bit beefier, but then again, the Plexi cuts through a bit better. I'll do a proper comparison between this and the Studio Vintage or the Plexi, we'll see at some point. But yeah, it behaves like a proper Marshall. It's still, even though it's more modern than the Plexi, it's still not modern. It still behaves like a vintage Marshall. You need to crank it. That way it works best. It's a bit of an unruly beast. So one of the problems I have with this is, well, basically probably my only actual complaint is that it makes so much noise on the overdrive channel, and I prefer just driving the kind of clean channel with an overdrive pedal, which basically makes it work like a Plexi-ish. It sounds a bit different, but yeah. So you might prefer this, you might prefer the Plexi, I don't know, but that was basically all I have for you today. So that was part one. Part two, I'll kind of scale down on the volume. I'll give you a comparison so you can see what it sounds like at full volume and then compare it to a lower volume. I'll go through what the features are and talk a bit more about it, and that will be part two. I was running it in 20 watt mode, and I'll do 5 watt mode in part two as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say it costs a fair bit more than an Origin. It costs the same as one of these Studio Vintage heads. So yeah, I forget how much that is actually now because I got this fairly cheap. But I think it's over 800 euros, 900 euros ish, over $1,000. So that's all I have for you today. Give it a thumbs up, the video that is, if you liked it, and give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Yeah, comment, let me know what you thought about the amp. And if you prefer the overdrive of the amp or the overdrive coming from the pedal and the clean channel, because that was also a bit overdriven. Yeah, so comment in the section for comments. Comment in the appropriate section. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification thing. And support me on Patreon, because I'm buying a lot of gear so that you'll get an honest review. And these two things, hey, they haven't been cheap. I think I have to sell both because I can't afford to keep a load of extra amps. But hey, support me on Patreon, you get a bunch of exclusives, it helps me make more of these videos, you get an honest review, and hey, my honest review of this, even though this was more of a demo, is that it sounds brilliant. It really does. Yeah, so if you have the chance, check one out. If you have the chance to check one of these Studio Vintages out, definitely do that. Yeah, that was all I have for you. I hope to see you in part two, which will air in a week, if I remember to time these correctly. See you.